All right. Good morning. Good morning. It is 6:31. It is March 4th. I hope everyone is feeling well. It is only the second day of March, so take a deep breath and just trade and know what you're doing and be prepared because there are definitely ways to make some choices, make some decisions, and net money. Don't overdo it. Don't do things you can't handle. If you make money, keep it. These ranges are loose and wide. There's more than enough opportunities to be light on your feet and make money to the upside and the downside. And then you could also get whipped either which way, depending on how you sit. If you remember yesterday, I came in, futures were up about 15, 20 handles. I'm like, hey guys, Friday felt very mechanical. There was a huge buy imbalance for tech. Everyone was a little short, and the last few Fridays were pretty bad to the downside. So every now and then the market wants to shake it up. So we had a big move into Friday's close, and then into the open. I'm like, can't be chasing here. I was long some Teslas, long some Amazon. I was trimming and feeling good. And then you could have even gotten short. You didn't have to go out short. You could have got short yesterday, and you could have used Nvidia as a vehicle. It was down pre-market, and then it broke 120, and then everything else started to fail to hold prior areas. And I've been showing you those sell rules for literally, I don't know, 15, 20 years. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. Anyway, my name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. Welcome to today's 630 Club. Hopefully you've been getting value from the 630 Club. I've been doing it for free since 2020, and that probably will be changing in June. If you'd like and find value in the 630 Club and want to start watching the 20 to 520 and get some whiteboard weekends, subscribe for $10. It'll be that cheap probably till June, and then we'll see what happens. So anyway, with that being said, you look at how this S&P cash is, it's very loose and wide. The good thing about yesterday was it opened up above a prior high, right? So if you came in long because of this red dog reversal here, you could have been selling into resistance. Okay, and we didn't even get above the resistance range. So right there, you could have shorted versus level, made money. You could have been long, trimmed some, made some money. So it wasn't that predatory. And then if you follow a set of rules, things started to, not hold a prior high and started to pretty much unravel all the way down. So now what? People yesterday like, Red Dog, did you put your blood in the street account to work? I did not put the blood in the street account to work. Just doesn't feel like, right now it feels like a little bit of a deterioration. Doesn't feel like there's blood in the street, especially in the indices. And if we're just starting to put the tariffs down, just starting to go back and forth again with China and Mexico and Canada, and now all of a sudden you see the headlines that Trump's pulling funding to the Ukraine. That's not great news. There's even rumors that tonight at the State of the Union, he's going to talk about taking, getting out of NATO. Anyway, I'm not going to get into the politics. All I know is there's a lot of unknowns, and right now we're below all the moving averages. We've been rejected all the way down. I don't see why we wouldn't see like a 5674 or 5705 here at some point. I'd rather it happen sooner than later. Right now, the oscillator is minus 50, so it's kind of hard to press shorts here. Like I'm short overnight, and to me, I just felt a little upset about it. Not upset about it. Just everyone has, like, I should be able to make money short, and I do make money short, but I just don't like being net short and staying net short. To me, I'm just not wired that way. I'd rather be low gross, low net, pick spots, and you could do that. But anyway, so last night around 7 o'clock, yeah, Red Dog was peaking at the SPYs, and the SPYs were at 580, 550, and I'm like, really? I'm like, what? We just went from from where we were, and which was into the 579.90, and who the hell is buying the SPYs for the last 14 minutes of the day? But anyway, I did short a lot into that, so I was just too short. So now I started covering the SPYs here down 59 cents, even though I do think there's going to be a move to 575, 578-ish, and maybe even lower. Go to the weekly chart. Look at the weekly chart here. I don't know if I've updated the weekly chart in a while. I've done it on the S&P cash. I might as well show that. I don't have time to do it right now. This is your 630 Club. It's not Redler All Access. It's not the Alpha Team. This I do, to try and help the greater good. And I think a lot of people are taking advantage because it's been, anyway, not going to get into that. So anyway, here is your upper channel. Here's your upper channel, and that's all we're in. We haven't even really tested the lower end of this upper channel. That lower end is 57.73, and then here would be the 50-day on the on the weekly. So with everything that's going on with, the growth scare and, Trump and, you know, just a lot of things that could be going on. So and look at the size of this move. So I'm not in a rush. This is not a blood in the street move. This is just a little bit of a corrective move after being up 44, 45% for 2 years. So I have, I talk about the 7 accounts and I post them usually on the weekends every weekend just to try and teach you guys and give you a little bit more of a learning curve. Okay. I have an active account that I try and trade the over motion, a swing account when things are acting well above the 821 day, which they're not. So that's in cash. I have a option account just in case I have some concepts or binary events, and then a box that does it all. That is how I get paid for a living. Scott Redler has a 401k that goes every month. I'm 52. I'll keep doing that. I don't care what happens. Same thing for my wife, a 403b. And then I have a blood in the street account that I try and be cute, and I put it to work 17 different times, and I've carved out 5% each time, and then it stays in cash waiting for there to be blood in the street. Right now we're in a bit of a correction, but there's not blood in the street. So anyway, here's 57.73. So I also needed to close on the dead lows to get a good print, not the way they've been doing where they goose these things at the end of the day, and you can't get a good print if you're trying to buy a Bright House mutual fund, which is what I do. So here we are. So put in perspective, how much have we really come in? This is your weekly chart. So we're not even, again, we're not even into the support from from here. And then this would be a nice spot to actually retest if it's a fake out buy. And then there are some people talking about how we're going to be seeing 5,400, which obviously there's a lot has to happen between now and then. So anyway, I would just suggest keeping your powder dry. What are some of the leading indicators out there? We've gone over them. Yesterday, NVIDIA, okay, basically showed you that the market's weak. If you remember, this was post earnings. This was a lot of people sold, made money short here, told you, it actually gave you clues on getting out of the way on Thursday of last week. And then Friday had a small red dog reversal around 120. And then yesterday took this back. As soon as we crossed below 120, that's it. Get out of risk, maybe get short and stay short. And a lot of people did that and made good money. Now what? NVIDIA is only down 32 cents. So watch it today. If NVIDIA were to break, this 112.28 or 113.112, anyone who's saying, hey, Red Dog, that's a double bottom, I don't think so. We could start seeing, a void here down towards, 101. So that's your double bottom. Chances are, I don't think it holds, but we'll see. We'll see. But that's a leading indicator. You know what else has been a leading indicator for me? Amazon. Amazon a week and a half ago started making lower lows post earnings, and what's it called? Gave me some clues not to be in any of the other Mag 7s, because if Amazon's going to be making lower lows post earnings, so will Microsoft, so will Google, etc. And then we had that spike low in Amazon. Remember, that was right here. And what'd that do? That gave you an oversold bounce back to 219. Okay. And then yesterday engulfed this whole thing. So if Amazon again, can make a lower low, because it did make a lower low from the highs, chances are, all of Mag 7 could do the same thing. So don't be in a rush. Maybe do a trade, but you're not trying to position. This isn't an accumulate spot in the market. You have no idea if we're going to be down 8% off highs, 14% off highs. So much can go on. So if you're an active trader or a swing trader, this is a trading spot, and we'll see how it goes. So now you have 202.55, right? Was that yesterday's low? What's Amazon right now? Amazon is down 6 cents. So there's really not a whole lot to do. Both of these are probably going to go back and forth a few times before they pick a direction. So you want to be a bit more careful. But at some point, this could be a good buy. If you're an investor, listen, if not horrendous. Actually, Tesla was awesome. You know why Tesla was awesome yesterday? Because if you went long, I went long on Friday, because Friday there was relative strength. Yesterday in the 630 club, I was telling you I sold half. I showed you the prints on the Alpha team, which the Alpha team trades with me all day long, and basically, made 8 points. And then I was there until about 11:45, still long Tesla, because Tesla's looked good. And then I went to do my midday workout and I got stopped out. because the trade changes. Some people are like, hey, Red Dog, how do you leave at lunchtime? I'm like, you know what? Because it keeps my sanity. I'm here at 6. I'm doing the 6:30 club. I'm doing 40 charts. I'm doing the morning call. I'm getting on the radio. I'm doing XMSR. And then I'm trading. And then I'm doing this and that. Lunchtime I leave. And then I see what happens. So if you look at Tesla yesterday, okay, someone's like, how'd you get out of the way? I'm like, what do you mean? It was, pretty self-explanatory. You go here, you go to the day chart. Okay, so this was yesterday. Okay, go to your intraday. All right, so it looked. You can't even really see where it happened. So it looked pretty good. Okay, it looked like it was holding up. So when I left at lunchtime, okay, I said, hey, if this is going to be special, it's not going to break below the afternoon channel. So I put my stop in at 296. It was looking good. It was looking like, hey, maybe we do hold in there. Maybe it's oversold enough, and then this candle stopped me out. So I got stopped out at 296, which the trade changed, and that happened at lunch while I was doing my push-ups. So I was still fasting with Red Dog Mindset, because at lunchtime we do push-ups and we fast on Mondays into Tuesdays. It's a great way of life. We get our mind right. I already did 20 at 520 this morning. Talked about levels. Talked a little bit about life. Got in a good mood, and then that's when I come here and go over the X's and O's for the 6:30 club. And just again, if you love this 6:30 club, you've been watching it since 2020, you should subscribe to the Red Dog Mindset, because 2520 is going to lead into 30 at 6:30 at some point in the future. So lock it in. Anyway, so that was the spot that I got stopped out. So if you go back to the daily chart, at least you gapped open. This is not predatory. Why? Because this gave you a signal to be long. It did. Gave you a signal to be long on Friday. Let you sell into strength. And then if you even covered here, or you could have reshorted into the 8-day, and the 8-day has been resistance this entire time. So you could have shorted there. Or what's the other sell rule? If it doesn't hold a prior high, so as soon as it didn't hold, 303, right? This was what? This wasn't 303. This was 293. You could have got out. And now, Tesla itself is down 4. So what am I going to do with Tesla? Hey, maybe there's a trade here, from, it's down, what's it called? $5 maybe. You could trade versus 278 and it tries to go green, make some cash flow, and then run like hell. That's what you got to do these days. You got to run like hell. If you go back to a trade because you sold it well, things have been a little bit nutty. It's hard to, remake money there. Funny thing with crypto too, look at this. It's like, some people are like, oh, everyone in crypto got lucky that Trump made that news. I'm like, well, on Friday, you had a Red Dog reversal, went below 46.69, came back up after a move from 56.20 down to here. Why not try a little bit? Chillo was all over that, making really good money. And then you had a gap up, and guess what? It filled the gap, got rejected right into this 53, right into the 21-day, and was sold all day. So, if you were long, you trimmed into strength and made money. If you weren't long and you bought it on here, you got really crushed. Especially if you didn't use like a morning low. Like they gave you a chance. Like I was long the IBIT. I got stopped out, and I lost like 80 cents. Not this. And now IBIT is down another $1.19. That's not it's a 47.71. This low here is what? 48.36. So it's already below yesterday's low. So what's that? 48.36. Some people are like, well, they're seeing through Trump's rhetoric. They don't have no idea how much he's going to buy. He just did it to goose the market. Whatever he did, if you were a trader, opportunity meets preparation. This was a Red Dog reversal buy. You got paid handsomely if you took it. Sometimes, things happen that way, But anyway, it's the business for that. There's a business. You're in the money business. So if you do things the right way over and over again, chances are you're going to make money consistently. And then you might actually even, have a big day like yesterday. Let me say hello to some of my dogs around the world. Here we go. You could be on YouTube watching the 6:30 Club. You could be on Twitter watching the 6:30 Club. Tesla had weak China sales for February. Tesla's been having weak sales for like weeks and weeks and weeks. Europe is weak. China is weak. Elon's rhetoric with the world is pissing people off and nobody's buying Teslas. But then it's all about the robots and their autonomous driving, which is keeping people a little bit attuned. But anyway, what's up? I'm sending good luck. What's up, Nebraska? How you feeling? Good morning, right there. The market groove has been disturbed. Remember the song group? Yeah, well, that's why you just got to get into a rhythm. You got to get into there's a rhythm. Okay, when you get into a rhythm with the market, it's awesome because you could be buying and selling and shorting and buying back, and and then when it's very predatory or very erratic, then you just have to take a step back and say there's no groove here. Anyway, with that being said, good morning, guys. And at this point, they could do really whatever they want. Like someone's like, "Hey, Red Dog, what's the levels on the SPYs?" If they want to, if they want to do a pre-market or a pre State of the Union rally, I'm like, well, here's the SPYs now. Okay, the SPYs. This is how I set up today. The SPYs right now are only down 6 cents. I've already covered most of my shorts just because I don't like being shorts. So you could say, hey, here, this was that last bounce into the end of the day. So if they wanted to continue the bounce, I would think that this would be a spot that would be easy. So 587 to 589 would be a spot that if we were up here, I would have been shorting more into this. Instead, we're flattish, so I'm able to cover some, and now I'll wait. If we get up here, maybe I'll short more. If it gets up here, what you probably should do is go out a week or two and buy some puts, just in case. It's less expensive to buy puts into the rally. A lot of my friends have been making really good money buying puts into the rally. I don't think I like to buy high and sell higher. I haven't done that in weeks and months. There's been nothing to buy high and sell higher. It's been, you're lucky to buy in the whole Versa level for a bounce, etc. But anyway, what's up, Bobby 4.0? How you doing? Get it done is spitting out money. Okay, we need some kind of capitulation. Yeah, right now this has just been a de-risking. There's been no fear there. There hasn't even really been a black swan, like where obviously like holy cow, and then you get scared, like whether if it was like China invading Taiwan or now that we're pulling out of the Ukraine, like something happens where Russia like attacks Kiev, which I don't want to happen, which would be horrendous. I'm just saying all we've had is a methodical, hey, things are slowing down, tariffs are coming in, we're trimming some of the fraud out of with Doge, and we were up huge. That's all that's been happening. It hasn't been like a, hey, holy cow, this is crazy. That usually leads to even August, when we had the August 5th low. You had the Japanese thing and the Nikkei, and there was some fear. There's no fear here. This is just a back and forth grind, taking some risk out of the market. So anyway, with that being said, we'll see what happens today. Do I have a buy point in Palantir? Palantir is working its way lower. I've done pretty well trading this. I've been trading it every day. Most of my guys all got out of Palantir when it broke 118. Some were actually cost averaging in a short, and then you had a bunch of moves. You had a pivot low. It opened up and failed to hold 107. Came all the way in, gave you a small little bounce, and so it's still working lower. 78's right here. What's Palantir doing? It's down 62 cents. It's just still, when you traded 100 times sales, it's hard to sustain. Anyway, for now, at least you have your sell rules. When it's above the 21 day, you're long, and when it's below, you're out of the way short trying things. So what was yesterday's low in Palantir? 82.53. 82.53. Let's see. So that's a point of reference. And where is it right now? Palantir is right around there. So we'll see what happens. Maybe it breaks below, shows some relative strength. You buy it for a trade, or not. That's what we're doing. We're traders. We're trying to trade, make some money, net it, not do anything stupid. Mike, feel like they wanted test shorts. Conviction would have been so much better to walk into a bloodbath. That's true. Anyway, so Palantir has been interesting. It's been working lower. Okay, NVIDIA. So I would watch this because this gives you clues of risk also. This was the poster child of awesome trading to the upside until finally this ascending channel broke to the downside. So I would watch Amazon for some clues, watch NVIDIA for some clues, watch PLTR and trade them also. And then, and then Tesla as well. Will Meta be affected by tariffs? Meta is just affected overall by the whole risk. Like Meta also broke its ascending channel. Meta was acting better than most names out there, and it was trending until finally the same thing. An ascending channel broke. Different rate of an ascending channel, but broke 725, broke 718, got below the 8-day. It's been below it since, rejected into it. You had a little bit of a double bottom, and then it opened up, got rejected into there, failed to hold 676, and it's just sloppy, just a trade. Just a trade. And it's giving you clues. And you better be careful. Well, all the things that have been keeping us safe and sound here. There's Meta. What's Meta doing this morning? Let's see. Meta is down $1, 653. What was yesterday's low? 650.84. Hey, maybe you could buy versus 680. 680. What did I just say it was? 650.84. 650.84. All right. Anyway, right now, the SPYs will be able to do whatever it wants now. Right now, it's at 651. The SPYs are only now up 4 cents. I've covered a lot of the shorts just because last night I'm like, we're at 580, 550. Although I think we're going lower, maybe they bounce, and I don't want to be caught short. So we'll see how it goes. You know what to look for. You know the clues. You know your sell rules. You have some buy rules too, whether it's a red dog reversal versus a prior low. Stick to your rules. That's how you're going to make money. Stick to your rules. That's how you can be safe. Stick to your rules, and maybe you can make a career out of this versus making money 1 month, losing money 1 month, and going back and forth. Most of you guys have been watching the 630 Club, have a plan, and you've been sticking to it, and you know your process. So if you have that, you can make money in any market. And then once we get another trend, right now we're in an active sequence to the downside that's very oversold. So we'll see where we go from here. Cash is a position, and know what you can handle and keep your mind right. Okay, subscribe to the Red Dog Mindset. It's a great tool now to if you read Trading in the Zone with David Douglas and you read that book 4 times, well, I do things from in that frame of mind every single morning now to lead into this to then go into the day. And if you want 40 charts with all kinds of language on it, then that's the Alpha Team and that's Redler All Access. But anyway, for now, so Grail, Red Dog, one more plunge down before the fun starts. That could be good, G-Town. I don't even know if one more will be it. I just think it's March 4th. SPYs still, everything's kind of broken, and we're really nowhere. All we just did is break this upper range literally 2 weeks ago. So, we'll see what happens here. Keep the powder dry. I would not be putting excessive risk on. I know the best guys out there are kind of having a little bit of trouble, especially if you're moving big money around. So you don't have to move big money around as a trader. Just move enough to make your goal and add it up and let it build and then get a paycheck. That's what we do. And if you're following someone who doesn't trade for a living on TV or this or that, just be careful. You need to know your time frame. You need to know what you need to do to make a living. All right, guys, I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow.